on, guys? It's Thirsty Thursday. Man, today's I don't even know where to begin. The last 24 hours has been kind of hectic, to say the least. So I got home from work last night, and just to get a quick bite to eat real quick. And I was in the kitchen, and my mom was like, because I was about to go to the gym, and my mom was like, man, I keep hearing all these sirens coming and going. So I'm like, yeah. I was like, maybe it's down the street or something. I don't know. And anyway, so, you know, I'm getting on my thing. I eat something really quick, and you know, I go to my garage and put my stuff in the car, and shoot, I open up the garage, there's cop cars and ambulances right in front of my house, and all the way down the street and around the corner. I'm like, what the hell's going on? So, you know, I usually mind my own business, which I did. You know, I went to the gym, and then, you know, come to find out a few hours later, you know, a neighbor of mine, you know, tried to commit suicide. And the reason why this kind of hits home to me is because, as y'all guys know, is, you know, I've had a lot of friends that have committed suicide. I have a lot of friends that are struggling and battling with depression and PTSD, just like myself. A lot of veterans, just like myself. And, you know, I've been doing these kind of things, talking and making videos. That's my coping mechanisms. And, you know, also working out, that's my therapy, and this is my therapy, talking to you guys. And, you know, sometimes, you know, I made a post the other night, and I was real serious about it. And it was funny too, because I had all these people, shoot, Carlos called me, and I had these people messaging me, call me, are you okay? You know, and my post wasn't a cry for help. My post was to inform everybody and reach people. Hey, you know, depression is serious. PTSD is serious. Suicide is very serious. You know, it's at the epidemic levels, and you know, we don't even consider it an epidemic. You know, all doctors do is send you to therapy and want you to take prescription meds. You know, I don't even do that crap. You know what? And well, let me correct myself. I seen a therapy. I seen a psychiatrist for years and years. At one point I was going once a week. And honestly, they prescribed me all these different prescription medicines left and right. They were giving it to me like candy. And that shit didn't do nothing for me. You know, so like, everybody's different. You know, that therapy didn't work for me. So what did I turn to? I turned to drugs and alcohol. I was just self-medicating myself, drinking my problems away, doing cocaine all the fucking time, staying awake because I was afraid to go to sleep. You know, I'm not ashamed to talk about my problems or my issues that I dealt with in the past and that I'm still continuing to deal with. That's what defines me and makes me who I am. That's also the reason why I'm making these videos and reaching out to as many people as I can. You don't got to be a veteran to be experiencing depression or have suicidal thoughts. Everybody has problems. Everybody has issues. And, you know, me opening my door to that shit literally last night, you know, I've had so many things in the past 45 days that have been pushing me and edging me and getting me more and more to do that podcast, to reach people, to help people. It's like, you know, this is my drive. This is what I want to do, you know, and I'm doing it. I am doing it. I'm doing it right now. It's not in a podcast studio, but I'm doing it. You know, I'm talking to you guys. I'm reaching out to people. But yeah, you know, and people don't talk about that kind of thing very much. A lot of people are embarrassed about it or quiet about it. Hell, I was embarrassed about it. I never wanted, you know what? I'll admit, I never wanted anybody to ever know about the issues that I was dealing with all the time. Why? Because I was afraid that people were going to walk away from me. I was afraid that people were going to turn their back on me. It wasn't that, honestly, it wasn't that people didn't understand me or know what I was going through or experiencing, but that is true. But that's not the reason why I always kept quiet over the years. It's because I was scared. Straight up, I was scared. I was frightened, and I did scare a lot of people. I'm not gonna lie. There's just people just don't understand you, and just like you have mechanisms that trigger you or that you cope with, they do too. If you can't, and I've had to learn this. I've had to learn how to express and communicate, because the problem with me is, and I know this is my problem, I have no filter. I say exactly what's on my mind, regardless if it's gonna freak you out, hurt you, scare you, whatever it is. It could be happy, sad thought, whatever. I speak my mind like purely. I have no filter, and I need to learn, and I'm still learning how to talk to certain individuals a certain way. With my military buddies, I can be blunt as hell. But like with friends of mine that doesn't know that type of experience, I can't be as blunt to them. I gotta ease into it. Or to just friends, just in general, like I don't talk about my issues. I really don't. I think I've done more talking, honestly, in the past 30 days than I've done in the past 15 years. And I'm being dead honest with you. And I don't even touch subjects or stories or even what I experienced overseas. I don't. I touch around that, and I just don't talk about that stuff. I probably never will. Even if I'm doing podcasts with other people, it's just something I don't talk about. But I will talk about the side effects. PTSD, depression, the trauma. How I deal with that, how I've handled that, what I did. And I'll talk about those things, because that's what we really need to be talking about. I don't care about nobody's story of what they actually went through in combat or downrange or outside the wire or wherever. I care about how to help them and fix them. That's what I care about, and that's what we need to be talking about more and more and more. Just like my the things that I've experienced, I still don't know what triggers it. It's only happened once, thank God. And I'm doing really, really good for myself. I've found my comfort zone. I've found my therapeutic coping that works for me. But what works for me might not work for you. Everybody's different. Everybody does things differently too, and thinks differently. Especially mentally. Perfect example. Well, I mean, and this is me being blunt, but a perfect example. I've been around. I've had a few experiences where I was around dead people. Okay, it didn't really affect me that much. And even coming home, I've been on a scene of accidents. I've literally seen people literally die right in front of me, and it didn't really faze me at all. But to somebody else, it might freak them the fuck out, or it might completely traumatize their life. Everybody's different, and that's what I mean. And then that's why I kind of got a little extreme there, but it's still the truth. But it don't even got to be that extreme. It could be something as it could be any situation. It could be that you being beaten or abused or bitten or verbally abused. There's all kind of different traumas. Not just death. And a lot of people go through it, and a lot of people don't say anything about it. So that's why I've been voicing my concerns, and I've been voicing my story, and I've been voicing my problems and my issues, because, you know, you're not alone. You know what I mean? You're not alone. And I really want people to know that, and to believe that, you know. Don't be afraid to ask for help, like I was. Like I was fucking scared, like I was terrified, you know. I was, well, not asking for help, I was afraid to open up. Like, that was my fear, was the fear of opening up to somebody. You know, because I did, and it didn't go the way I wanted it to. But over time, I guess there was a little acceptance. It's just, I was just a little blunt from the get-go. And, you know, like I said, I got to learn how to communicate better and ease my situations to certain individuals the right way. You know, I guess that's the best way I can say it. But, you know, but me opening up, I mean, hell, that was a huge step forward for me, just in general. Me being able to talk to you and go live and speak about this is a gigantic leap forward, you know, especially for me. So guys, you know, I'm going to reemphasize what I posted last night. You know, if you're experiencing depression, please seek help, please. And call somebody. Hell, call me. DM me, inbox me, you know, please. Because the last thing I want to do is bury somebody that I care about, or bury somebody that I know, or see you bury somebody that you care about, or see you bury somebody that you know. You know, just ask for help. Help is always there. With that being said, I got my son's doctor appointment, so y'all take care. Tonight, the Rips at Winters. Come through if you want to have a good, want to see a good concert. Thank you guys for tuning in and listening, and you'll see me in my podcast studio very soon.